Hello, good evening, my Facebook family and YouTube as well, because now we're streaming Calabash Network from YouTube and Facebook at the moment. This is your girl, Frances K, the Calabash Princess, coming to you live and direct from Calabash Network. As you all aware, we're testing the new network at the moment, and this is our regular talk show that we do have every single week. And this is coming to you every Thursday. It's actually called Women's Corner and Men Point of View. It's a very interesting talk show, and please share the video. You can contribute by texting, sharing, and also give your comments. And if you like to be part of the program, please send us a text. Every single one of this panel in here is part of this network. So send us a text, and then you can actually be part of the panel. Or if you have any suggestion for us at all, please send us a text. We're open to every single thing right now because we're just starting up this network and we just want it to develop. Before I say anything, let me bring in the panel. And this panel is two ladies and two gentlemen at the moment. And guess what? We've got juicy conversation for you today. Let me bring everyone in. I will start first by introducing as they came in. So we'll start with Uncle Pascal. Let's introduce Uncle Pascal first. Hi, Uncle Pascal. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
How
Hello,
was your
everyone.
week?
It's going great.
That's good. Thank you for being around today. Let me go to the next person that came
Thank you
in.
for
Let me go
having
to Auntie
me.
Claudia. Hi, Auntie Claudia. How are you doing?
Hi, just fine, doing great. Busy
That is
day, but
good.
everything's great.
That's good. That's fantastic. I missed you guys today. I've missed you guys last week so much. Looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing what we have to offer today to the public. Let's go to Uncle Carl. Hi, Uncle Carl. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm looking forward to the talk show today, really. It's going to be great. So, how was your day?
Yes, it was a good day today. I
That's
cannot
good.
complain.
It's good to see you again. It's good to see you around. Okay, let me bring
Thank you.
everyone in. I'll bring in the panel so we can actually come to the topic. It's an interesting one, basically. It's actually what level would you go to prove your love for someone? So, can you imagine what level would you go to prove your love? I think it's it's an interesting one. Auntie Claudia,
It is.
since this is actually a women's corner and male point of view, I think let's give it to the male first to start it off, don't you think?
Yeah, I think
So let's
so.
start off with Uncle
All right.
Pascal. Uncle Pascal, how far
I
would you go
know.
to prove your love for someone?
Wow, that's really an interesting topic. Um, the question I've been asking myself: do you really need to go far to prove yourself? I thought love is about how you feel about the person, and the person should be able to feel that as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say whatever it takes. I would try my best to, show the person that I love her. I mean, it's not a guy by doing the just little stuff. It doesn't have to be big. Reminding them that I love them, communication, just the simple stuff. Let me just put it at there first because I know the communication is still going to go further.
Okay, we'll actually leave it like that. Let's go to Uncle Carl. Uncle Carl, you hear what Uncle Pascal has
Hey,
actually said, Mr. Perceiver. So what do you actually think?
about what Uncle Pascal said, or what I
Yes,
think about
well,
the subject.
what extent would
About
you
the
go to prove
topic,
your love for someone?
I agree with him on that. Um, there's a saying that goes that actions speak louder than words. Okay. People can say they love someone um, time and time over and over again, but actions can turn out different. So, uh, what level would I go to prove that I love someone? Um, I'm kind of like caught between a catch 22 on proving something. versus just natural love. So I'd have to see what your underlying meaning of the subject is. But to say that I will go to extreme levels to show you that I love you, I would go through extreme levels to let you know that I love you with all my heart. That I would do. Uh, Proving, we have to go into detail later and find out what that means.
Okay, that
Hmm.
sounds good, really. Auntie Claudia, let me go next to you, right, Auntie Claudia? So, Auntie
Okay.
Claudia,
Right.
when it comes to proving your love, right? Because you
Mm-hmm.
hear what the men have actually said. So
Yes.
Uncle Pascal talked about communication, and Uncle Carl said he's going to wait to see how the topic actually develop, basically, and he will
Okay.
go to any extent just to prove his love, basically. So when it comes to proving your love, how would you actually explain it? Proving your love to someone.
I kind of think it's an individual thing. Like I always
Yeah.
say, everything it depends on the person. There's some people that would go out their way, lose their self just to prove that they love somebody. And then you have some people that are a little more in control of their emotions, their feelings, and they might be reserved because they're thinking, I have to be careful, right? I have to not lose me just to show this person I love them. So I think it's back to the person. It's back to their self esteem, their confidence, how they love. Everybody doesn't love the same. So it's an individual thing, in my opinion, if I
I
answered
believe in
it.
that too. I just believe it's an individual thing because the way I might love someone might be completely different from the way other person love other people, and the way I
Yeah.
might prove my love to someone else might be completely different. So before I actually
Way.
go any further, did you actually watch the Oscar regarding the Will and Jada Pinkett Smith?
Yes, I saw that. Some people were in agreement. I wasn't in agreement with certain things. I think that it wasn't fair because Rock, a couple years prior, had some issues he dealt with. Remember, maybe it's like several years ago, over 5 years ago, he had a divorce. What is it, 10 or 5 years ago?
Yes.
And he's been through a lot himself. So I think for Will to just kind of be just defensive and into his own issues and think, well, I'm going to walk up here and just lose it, because basically that's what he did, and not consider that, maybe my wife and I need to talk, and maybe I need to pull Chris to the side after the show and say, hey, we're going to stop with the jokes on my wife. You know what I mean? But to walk up there and do that, that really kind of hurt me because I admire the both of them. And then to see, another black man, put his hands on another man, another black man, to me, it's like demasculating, if I'm saying the word correctly, that man. And I didn't agree to that. And in my
Okay,
opinion, with the wife, I feel that maybe Jada, because you know your spouse, you know the person you're with, whether it's a fiance, boyfriend, or husband, you've been with them for a while, you'll know how they are. I can just tell by my husband's body language if he's gonna do something that I'm not in agreement with, right?
Yeah.
So I'm already there. It's like when you see your child's gonna make a certain move, you just an automatic response. I'll be like, "Hey, what you gonna do?" No, we're not doing that. I don't like what he did, but no, you're not gonna walk up there and do that.
So you
That's
think
just
it's not basically it's not gonna walk in there and disrespect. So are you trying to say, even though you're not siding with what Jade with what Will did, but you think he was right in another way around? Is that what you're trying to relay?
I don't think he was right. I think he was wrong because he should have had more self control.
Okay.
And I feel Jada had a little bit something to do with it too. She's not completely innocent because I
Okay.
feel that she should have been that supportive spouse and be like, "You're not finna either embarrass us
I
or throw us
disagree with you
away."
on that.
Okay. So let's hear what Uncle Pasiva actually have to say. Uncle Pasiva, let's take it from you. Let's hear what you have to say.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. That's the reason why I said when I started, I don't think you need to go too far to want to prove your love. I feel that is what Will Smith was trying to do to prove his love to Jada. People are blaming Jada. For me, I didn't blame Jada for nothing. I blame Will Smith. Because as a man, you should be able to control your emotions. And, As a man, you should be able to say, like, okay, after the program, or if you're a strong man, where you're seated, there's a way you will use I to interact with Chris because they've been friends for quite a while or for a long time. And that man would get the message. But what he was trying to do
I
was
got
to
one.
prove. If you watch the show, when he was giving his speech, he said he fights for women. If you know, which to me doesn't make sense. Jada is a strong woman. I believe she would have been able to handle the situation herself. So that's what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say. You don't need to go too far to prove your love. When you love someone, they will feel it. I don't need to run to the desert, cross the mountain, cross the river to come and show you that I really love you. You're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to feel the love. So Will Smith is a good example. I'm glad you brought this subject up about them because that was what he was trying to do to prove his love. He's trying to go to the extent, and that made him foolish for what he did. You know, that's what I want to
But
chip in.
this is a show, so we can debate each other. I'm gonna get squeezed in there, Uncle Pascal. So the way I look at it like this, right? When you're together, you're a unit, you're a team, you're one. So
Hmm.
sometimes you don't think clear. You don't. Sometimes you need that person that knows you well, especially if it involves them, to kind of make you step back. There's been many times when I kind of helped my husband through things, or he helped me through things, and I said, "You know what? You were right. I'm so glad you stepped in." Sometimes we
Okay.
need that, you know. And I just feel that maybe, and it could be that she maybe caught her off guard, because that can happen too. Maybe he just moved so swiftly and she didn't have time to even wonder what he was about to do. So that could be very possible.
Exactly.
Hmm.
I actually agree with
Yeah.
that, Auntie Claudia, because I was looking at it from a different perspective. I don't know, but let me get Uncle Cal first opinion. Uncle Cal, what do you think about that situation?
Hmm.
um, Will was wrong for doing that on live TV in front of millions of viewers.
Hmm.
Personally, if you would have done it on a TV commercial break and had the world wondering why Chris Rock had a black eye when he came back to the TV, then okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of underlying things that involves this situation that stems back for years between
Mm.
Chris Rock and Jada. The things that
Oh.
have happened. Um,
Hmm.
there's more to it. We see what we see and we judge from what we only seen, but we don't
Hmm.
know exactly what happened. Now, being in the entertainment business and knowing people, I know scoops. Okay. I can't talk about that right now, but it is deeper than that. Uh,
Okay.
but I can talk about what the joke was actually about. Um, of course, we know that Jada suffers from this little disease. It's not life threatening, but it causes her to lose her hair.
Yeah.
Okay. G.I. Jane is a role that Jada played before, but the original G.I. Jane was a lady. What is her name? Uh, Demi
The
Moore.
Demi Moore. Yeah.
Demi Moore,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Demi Moore. And when Demi Moore was playing G.I. Jane in that movie, during the shooting of that movie, she had an affair with Ashton Kutcher, and she was already married.
Oh.
Okay. So he was literally throwing two shots in one for something that he had been saying in the past anyway when Jada was in a, how does she call it, with August. Okay.
Yeah. Entanglement.
So he was
Entanglement.
entanglement. So he was throwing two shots at her, calling her, ooh, I almost said that
Oh,
word,
I
calling
see.
her that and teasing her about her loss of hair at the
Oh,
same
I
time.
see. Yeah, yeah.
So we'll feel like, okay, you've done this through your jokes over the years. You've made your statements when my wife was trying to defend me for not getting an Oscar several years ago, telling her it's, her defending Will is like me doing
Mhm.
something with Rihanna's underwear. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
it's been several shots that he has taken at
Mhm.
Jada. Okay, for
Mhm.
Will, it was like he laughed because, like, I can't believe you're doing this right now when we're narrating, black people are narrating the Oscars for the first time, and we doing this, and you want to bring a joke that you got to be
Yeah.
careful with your jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah.
I disagree with what Will did. That was immature for him to do it on TV.
Mhm.
However, and I disagree really with Will defending her anyway, because there's a lot of stuff that Jada is responsible for when it comes to that man's career and where he is mentally right now. A man is a
Mhm.
man, but when you love someone and you're trying to show, prove, that's why I was like, I got to see what you mean by prove. Because Will has been trying to prove things and they've been doing it the wrong way. Okay. Uh, Jada's off the hook. She is. She's something else. Um, but
Mhm.
he could have done that behind the scenes rather than do it on national TV. Now,
Mhm.
women will always say, "Yeah, my man need to take up for me. My man need to do this, and my man need to do that." And what woman wouldn't want her man to come into her defense?
Yeah.
But I agree with you, Claudia, that she knew what was going to happen. All she had to do is say, "Will, come here." Not right now.
Mhm.
Now, Pascal, you're right. As a man, he should know how to hold himself, especially when you've been nominated for an Oscar and you're on live TV. Stop. You should know how to be temperamental as a man. But sometimes a man can slip and fall, and sometimes women can slip and fall. But once something was said very wisely, when you have two working as one, that's when you stick up for each other and you bring both together to try and do the right thing. So I blame both of them.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you blame both of them, Jada and Will, for whatever happened in the Oscar that night. But
Yeah,
the
because
real
basically,
question is to me, how far would you go to prove your love for someone, basically? So when it comes to that
I,
situation, in my own
oh,
personal opinion, I just think Will, because Will actually did it after turning back and looking at Jada. He was laughing at the beginning when they started,
Mhm.
and then he turned and he have a look at Jada, facial expression. That was when he actually get up and went
Mhm.
and did whatever he had to
he
do.
there's an American black thing, so let's get into the culture thing here.
Yes.
Um, Black Americans, African Americans, whatever you want to call us, we do that on a daily. Okay, someone come up and they'll say something or do something, and we're mad, but we'll go, "Oh my God, I know you did! Did you see, boy?" And then we'll go at it. Okay, that is a character trait. No
Mhm.
different than you see men putting their hands behind their back when they're talking to a woman or something. You should know that sign right there means he's about to hit you. It's character traits that are picked up from the street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that character trait is a very common character trait picked up from the street. You'll laugh at it first, and then you'll go at that person, and that's what Will had done. Okay, enough was enough. I can't believe that you actually sat there on stage live right now at this moment. I did that, boy. Let me walk up here. It was dumb for him to do that.
Mhm.
But the laugh was not because he thought it was funny. The laugh was
Right.
because he was actually pissed.
Okay, I
Okay,
understand it
Mhm.
now. Yeah.
Jada's look had nothing to do with it, because they were
Mhm.
laughing at the other jokes he was saying, so they was already in a laughing mode. And then he
Okay.
says that, and he's like, "Oh, really?" And he gets up
Yeah.
and walk.
Yeah.
It was stupid for him to do. I think that was the most dumbest thing ever, especially anyway.
I
But that
understand
was
that now.
that was all about. Yeah,
Okay. It's a cultural thing. That's why I always
From
said to myself, it's
mm,
good for us to have a cross culture network. So that way all of us can
yeah,
actually learn from each other's culture as well. Because I didn't know that and I just learned from you now exactly what that
Yeah.
meant. And it's quite good.
yeah. We
Uncle
do that
Pascal,
quite
you
a
were
bit.
about to say something, sir.
so for me, I don't care for what between Will Smith and Jada. I don't think like what Auntie Claudia said. When two people are together, you're supposed to have each other's back. In a
Right.
twinkle of an eye, I don't think Jada knew Will was going to do what he went to do. Still, I'm saying that Will, for me, what he did, from my own opinion, that's weak. That's how I
Yeah,
feel. When
yeah,
most especially when you know you are coming for an achievement, you should be smarter than that. This is your big day. No matter the situation, you should be able to control yourself. That makes you a man. Control your emotion. Whatever Chris is saying, it's my heart. But just be calm. I will not wait for my woman to talk to me to tell me to do the right thing. As a
I
man, I should be able
understand.
to know what to do. Because I'm supposed to show the quality of a leader. I'm supposed to lead her. If I'm waiting for her to give me idea, no, don't go there, Will. No, that's bullshit. Sorry to use that language. I mean, that's
No, that's
crazy.
fine.
You know. So for me, I just feel I don't blame Jada for that very situation that happened that day.
Situation.
It's just Will that messed it up because the content of this subject is how far will you go to prove love to your loved ones or something like that. So that's
Yeah.
what he was trying to do. He was trying to prove love. He was trying to be like, okay, I got your back. I can protect you. And after that scenario, I saw another YouTube video that came up where they said Jada was like, she didn't ask Will to do whatever he did. That she
Mm-hmm.
is a strong woman. She would have been able to protect herself. you know.
Mm-hmm.
And during the comment, I see a lot of women they were like, "Oh yes, that's the kind of man I want. This is the kind of man that can protect." No, that's crazy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
as a man, you show the quality of a leader. You don't have to wait. For me, I will call my woman and ask for decision, but I'm not going to wait for my woman to tell me what to do. I should be
Mm-hmm.
able to know what to do at the right time. You know,
That
so
sounds
that's
good,
it.
really. I like your analysis of
Like,
it, really.
yeah,
Yeah. But from
I can
my point
agree.
of view,
Yeah.
yes, I just think possibly there was a reason, there was a deep cutted reason. It might be the things that Will is going through at home with Jada, because he knows exactly the situation at home. Possibly Jada's actually gone through some kind of emotional trauma, losing your hair and everything else. Because I'm a braider, I know. I braid alopecia's hair. I know how people feel when it comes to those things. They're very insecure. So through that pain and everything,
But
and then
remember,
find
she came.
someone,
She came on live to say she liked it.
yeah.
She
But
came on
then,
live even before that incident. Few days before that day, she was like, "I like my bald head."
yes,
She said it to the whole world. Everybody saw it.
that's true.
You know. So I
That's
did.
true.
I think when if you see when Chris, even when Will Smith went to smack Chris, while he was coming back, you can still see like Will Smith wasn't even frowning. He looked like as if he was still smiling. So at first I thought it was a joke. It was like a makeup, whatever.
That's what I thought at first
It
as
was
well. Yeah.
after some days before I realized that oh, this is real.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know,
But then, Uncle Carl, how far would you go to prove your love for someone? Or have you ever proven
that's
your
the
love for
question.
someone?
I wouldn't go far to. I wouldn't go far to prove anything. Proof. When you say the word prove, it means that there's someone in disbelief. If I have
Good.
my spouse or my girlfriend in disbelief, then there's something I've done wrong in my love. I shouldn't have to prove that I love you. Um, If you can't see by the things that I do, if you can't see by the actions that I give, if you can't see by the way I take care or provide, if you can't see by the way I hold you, or feel by the way I touch you, or sense it even in my kiss, then I'm not showing it from my heart. I'm not bringing it from my soul. It is not real. Therefore, then at that point you would need proof. But I cannot prove my love if I really don't have love and it's not being shown.
Okay.
So
Auntie
yeah,
Claudia,
you know.
you've had what
Hmm.
the gentlemen have actually said. They've actually explained from their own narrative, right? But before I come back to you, let me ask Uncle Pascal this question before I come so we can discuss it as women's corner.
Sure.
Uncle Pascal, how far would you go to prove your love for someone?
I concur with Uncle Carl. I think we're on the same page. Like I said earlier, I don't need to go far. Okay, so we as men, let me speak for myself, not for other men. Me as a man, I feel me providing for you, going out there to till the soil, do whatever it takes to come back home and provide for you. That's a sign of love. Coming back home, going out together, doing the little stuff. That's a sign of love. I don't
Hmm.
need to go too far. I don't need to go further to prove my love. That becomes validation. She wants validation,
Right,
you know.
right,
Yeah, so just the little things is okay for me. If you, that's why I said love is something you feel. If you don't feel it, that's when you'll now be asking for proof. But if I feel as a man that I'm showing you love and I really love you, I don't need to go far to show you love. That is where it gets wrong. People want to go and do what they're not supposed to do to show love. At the end of the day, the person you're showing, the receiving end, the person that's receiving the love, might not love you that way.
Yeah.
So why would you want to bust your ass to go far and show, prove your love? Just do the basic things. Care for her. I'm speaking as a man. Care for your woman. Do what you need to do for her. Make her feel happy. That's enough. That's how far I can go to answer the question.
I understand that. Auntie Claudia, we've actually listened to the men's point of view. What is your opinion about what they actually just said, both of them?
I can see their point of view, each of them. Like what Uncle Pascal said about Will being a man and not being so, maybe being a little more control of his emotions, if I put it in my own words. And I could see that where maybe that was being emotional a little bit. And I can agree with Kyle when Kyle mentioned that, it was deeper than what we see, what we saw. It was actually him feeling offended that Chris was attacking Jada because of the comment with the G.I. Jane, G.I. Joe, G.I. Jane, whatever. That it basically placed him in a position where he felt he lost it. He wasn't in control anymore. That was it. So I didn't know that extra information. So I could see where both of them, what they're saying is correct in its own way. I could see it. I have a different
Absolutely.
point of view
but
now.
still, but still, make it very clear.
Hmm.
Brother Pascal, Uncle Pascal is right. Will Smith is weak for not being the man and containing himself. So
Wow.
Yeah.
just want, yeah.
That's a good one.
And Princess Calabash, I want to say something. Auntie Claudia has not really answered the question
No, she
we've
didn't.
been asking her.
Thank
She
you.
has to, because the question is, how far will you go?
To prove your love
Mr.
for
Carl has
someone.
answered it. I have answered it. Auntie Claudia, we want you to answer that
I
question.
am
How
Thank you
far
going
will
very
you
much,
to.
Uncle P,
go?
for actually highlighting that. I was going to go into it. Actually, I was going to go back to Auntie Claudia, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
Auntie Claudia, you keep dodging the question. So, how far would
yes.
you go to prove your love for someone, Auntie Claudia? You've not answered that particular question, and that is the question
Okay.
of the talk for today.
I just really, it depends. It depends on the person. It depends on the situation. But my husband, I was very supportive, and I went the extra. to prove to him that, I'm here for you. We were younger, so when you're younger, you tend not to really follow all the rules and all of this. You kind of just do what you feel. You okay? I look. At this age now, let's say if I was in a position where I was not married and I had to prove my love to somebody, I probably would not want to be in that situation because I feel I should not have to prove it. It should be something I feel and you feel, you know?
I understand where you're coming from. Well, I'll answer that question. In my own perspective, I don't think I need to prove my love to anyone.
Yeah.
Because the moment I start proving my love to you, that means I don't love you. It's as simple as that. I don't need to prove myself to you. I don't need to prove my love to you. I believe I'm just supposed to be with you, express to you how I feel at this moment, how I'm feeling, my emotions, and by my actions, basically, that is how
Mm-hmm.
you're going to understand that I love you. But the moment I go the extra mile to prove my love for you, that means I absolutely don't love you. That means I need something from you. That's why I'm proving my love to you. It's just my own opinion. I don't need to prove my love for you. No matter what the situation is, I don't need to prove my love to you. Because if I start proving my love, it, I, that means I don't really love you because I'm thinking. That means I'm overthinking it. I'm not supposed to just overthink it. If something happened, I can defend you because that's the way I look at real situation with Jada. I look at it as he's defending the wife. Not that he's right to do it, but in my own opinion, he's defending his
He's
wife.
the same.
That was what he did. And unfortunately, he did it publicly. But a lot of men these days will not defend their woman. They will just look at situation and
Right.
walk away. But he
And walk away
defended his wife. I think we need to give him dues where dues is
credit
actually
for that.
done because he defended his wife. A lot of
Now
men
I would
will
give
not do that. However,
I
he
would
did it
give
in the wrong platform and the wrong way.
okay. All
But
right.
he was defending his wife.
Mm.
I would
And
have
I don't
loved,
Now
for
think
me personally,
I
I
do
would
agree to
love if
that. I
I
do
was
agree
in
that
that
he was
situation
defending, yeah.
for a man to defend me, but not in that manner, not
now you're
on that
talking.
platform. That's what I'm
Now you're
saying.
talking,
Not
yeah.
on that platform, not in that manner. But I believe I would have loved for my man to defend me
Because I
and
don't
let
think
me
there's
know,
anything
but
wrong.
not proving my love to you. I don't need to prove my love to you. If I love
Mm-mm.
you, it's supposed to come naturally. It's supposed to come in a way that I don't need to come and tell you, oh, I love you, or doing things for you, or buying things for you, or going the extra mile just to prove my love for you. No, it's love comes naturally. It comes within the heart, within the soul. The moment I start proving my love to you, doing extras, that means I don't really care. I don't love you because I'm overthinking it. That's just the way I look at it. Go on, Uncle Pascal.
Okay, so I don't think there's anything bad to show that you want to prove your love. And I
Mm-hmm.
also disagree with you, Princess Calabash, that the moment you want to prove your love, that means you don't really love the person. I disagree with you on that part. The reason why I said that is this. Now we are using Will and Jada as the subject, so we'll continue to use them. Um, if you look at the both couples, you will realize that Will is the one that is loving her the most. Will is ready to do anything to prove his love. That doesn't mean he doesn't love her. He loves her to. I think he loves her to death. But the thing
It's
is
a
this: is she
dysfunctional.
loving him back the way he loves her? No. So my point is, there's nothing wrong to prove your love,
I don't believe
but
he was proving his
the
love.
person you're proving it to, yeah.
I don't believe he was proving his love. That's where I'm coming from. I believe he was defending his woman,
Okay,
not proving
okay,
his
cool.
love. Because proving his
Yes,
love to me, it's on a different level. The way I understand it, the way I've actually think about it very well. I just believe he was defending his wife, not proving his love, because he already
okay.
loved her. We all know that Will is in love with Jada, but we cannot actually say. I disagree with you in that manner that you said, "Oh, we love Jada more than the way Jada love Will." No, we
Oh
don't know
yes, of
that because
course.
we're not there. Because that is what we
Okay,
see from the front of
I will
things.
tell you why I said so.
Okay.
For Jada to have an entanglement in the first place.
But we don't know what Will
That
was doing at the same time behind
no,
closed doors
listen,
because we, don't, we spoke
Will
about
is a
Jada
public
because
figure.
Jada came
Hold
out
on.
and talked about it, right?
Okay,
Jada came out and said whatever she said, but we don't know what Will
can I
was
say
doing.
something, please?
Go on, I'm listening.
Can I say
Sorry.
something?
Mm-hmm.
Will is a public figure.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big star.
Yes.
There's nothing Will do
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to infidelity that it will
Mm-hmm.
not come out.
Mhm.
That's
That's
true.
what I feel. That's what I feel. As big as he is, people want to set him up. Paparazzi are always around him. So there's nothing that man will do that it will not come up. The Jada didn't just come out, something popped out before she came out. And she invited her husband to the whole world. And the man was sitting right there when she said, yes, this is what I underline that word every time I see it. Yes, that's what I said. I said I had an entanglement straight to the man's face. So for me, that tells a lot that the man loves her. I'm going back to what you said, that the man loves her more than the way she loves the man. There was one other video that came out where they were at home. I think she was recording. So Will now realized that she was recording. Will was not saying, you are supposed to take permission from me. You know what she said? This is on live. She said, oh, I can't deal with this foolishness. Or this is the foolishness I'm dealing with. So that will tell you how she tries to bring this man down. But at the same time, this man tries to prove his love. That is where the problem is. When you're trying to prove your love to that extent, I think the other person, on the other hand, might not even welcome it. It doesn't necessarily mean that you don't love the person. That's why you're trying to prove your love. People prove their love in different ways. Going to hit Chris, for me, I feel that's another way of proving his love. He even said it while he was making the speech that he's trying to protect women. So if you're trying to
No,
protect a
that's not
woman,
what
I
he
think
said.
you're
Wait,
trying to
wait, wait,
show.
wait, wait, wait. Brother Pascal,
Okay,
he did not say that. What he said is
okay.
love makes you do crazy things. That's all he said.
Okay, yes, love make
He
you do
said
crazy
love
things.
makes
Okay,
you
cool.
do crazy
Yeah, so
things.
that
Okay.
means okay. So thanks for helping me out, Mr. Carl. So that will also
All
tell
right.
you that it is the love that he has. He's trying to prove his love. That's why he did that crazy thing.
No,
I
it,
rest
it
my
could
case
also
here.
mean that he's just trying. It could also mean that he was just trying to defend his love.
That is the way I look at it.
Um,
When you're
like I
defending your
said,
love, you're proving your love. That's what we're saying. If you're
no,
defending your
no,
love,
not
you're proving
necessarily,
your love.
not necessarily, not necessarily.
Okay,
You can't tell me as a man, okay, if a guy you're in a club. Let's say we're back. Let's go back to our younger days, shall we? Okay,
okay,
Mhm.
Okay.
20s. All right, and we're in a
Mhm.
club, right? All right. So a guy comes up and he talks to my girl. Now, I'm not about to, excuse me, I was doing my Louisiana thing. I'm not about to go up and, hey man, what you doing talking to my girl? She knows how to handle herself. She
good.
knows
Mhm.
how to say no. Okay. And if she happens to laugh and start smiling and joking and laughing with him, then that's something we'll talk about later at home. Boy, I'm not about to go there. But if she tells him, no, I'm married, she's trying to get a drink, I'm married, no, stop. And he leans all up on her and touch. You can't tell me as a man that you're not about to jump up and correct that gentleman.
Of course I will.
Okay.
I will
That's not
definitely.
proven. That's
That
not
is part of
proven you
proving.
love her.
That is
Yeah.
That's
that is part of
defending.
proof.
Defending her.
Okay,
No,
so
that's
okay,
defending. If I
can
had
I
to
ask a question?
prove that I love you,
Okay,
then I would jump up. The proving comes in where he steps up and says hi, and then I jump up and start trying to prove, hey, this is my girl. Now I'm trying to prove it because there's nothing that happened. The guy just said hello. And for me to jump up
okay.
and try to show I'm the tough guy, I'm trying to prove at that point. But
At this
if
time,
you
we are
see a
saying the
search,
same thing. At this time, we are
mm,
No,
exactly
but
saying the
Uncle
same thing.
Pascal, you saying
Okay.
that he is proving his love. whilst Uncle Carl is saying it might be,
I understand that, but
is defending her,
with
because
the
that's what
example,
I'm
Mr.
saying.
Carl, with the example Mr. Carl just gave now, listen, please.
Yeah.
With the example he just gave, he said, if you're with your girl in the club and somebody walks up to your girl and you just jump up and be like, oh, that means you're proving your love. Remember, like I
That's
said,
proving.
we all watched the show. It was in the twinkle of an eye. So I don't think there was even time for Jada to be like, oh, Will, stop. Don't move. Will just stood up, straight went there. Nobody even saw it coming. Even Chris didn't see it coming. That's why he put his hand right at his back. And Will smacked him. So with what Mr. Carl just said, that is him trying to prove his love. You're defending. Proving your love comes in different ways. It can be in 1 million ways. When you defend your woman, you love her. You're proving your love because you want to defend her. This is how I see it. You know.
Okay. I can understand your point of view, how you see it, and honestly, it does go hand in hand what you're saying.
I
Okay.
think you're saying
But
the same thing, both of you, just different
it
ways.
Yeah, we're saying the
also,
same thing.
yeah, but it also has a flip side to it.
Yes.
Okay. The flip side is without the proof at all, because I don't have to prove she knows I love her.
Yeah.
But at this point, she is in a situation where she needs help. Now, Jada herself said, I didn't need him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's so much underscore to this. I wish I
Mhm.
could talk. But
I believe so, Carl. I believe so because we forgetting that Jada
yeah.
had a career that was rising right when she got married to Will. And sometimes I wonder if there's resentment in the relationship in the marriage. Because she was also a rising star. And,
Okay.
and
It's
Jada,
so
yeah.
much into this right now. Underscore. Um, it's all I can say is that you do have people, men and women, that can be evil inside of a marriage,
Mm-hmm.
Resentment sometimes happens.
manipulating,
That's true.
Hmm.
manipulating
Absolutely true. Yes.
inside of a marriage,
Yeah.
scheming inside of a
Yes.
marriage.
But can you
And
agree that isn't the right?
in this situation, that may be what's happening. You do know that they had what was called an open relationship, right?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
No.
They had an open relationship.
Relationship. They did spoke
Now,
about it several times on the Red Table Talk. Yes.
That's why Will
okay.
was in Colombia a lot several years back.
Oh,
He
Oh,
spent a
Will
lot
have
of time
done
with
some things.
well,
Will,
that's what I was saying. I'm
Oh,
saying we
really? I
see
did
what
not
we
know.
have to see.
I did.
Yeah,
I
Okay,
Will
didn't
have
know
Carl,
that.
done.
I don't want to put you into too
Yeah.
much trouble, so don't reveal too much. You're an
Yeah,
actor
thank
and
you. All
you're
right.
in Hollywood.
All right. All
I
right.
like to
That's
All
right.
protect
right.
you.
That's right.
Yes.
We're gonna come
I
off of
have to,
that.
no, there's one thing I need
Okay.
to protect you, Carl, because you're an actor and you're in Hollywood. So we have to be careful with what we actually get you to say right now,
Hmm.
because I don't want to implicate you in any single way or any single shape or form. I have to be very protective over you in a way.
Hmm.
Each and every one of you on the show, I have to be protective over you. And we have to remember this
Thank you.
is a registered network now. So there's certain things we say
Yeah.
which we might,
All right.
have to be careful with at the same time. So what I
Yes.
was saying,
All
I
right.
said it at the beginning. I said I personally don't believe he was proving his love. I believe he was defending his woman. He was
Hmm.
defending Jada. That was exactly what happened, in my own humble opinion. Because he has
Hmm.
proved his love so many times for Jada before that happened. Everyone knows that we love Jada. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was defending his woman. It was just natural instinct. Auntie Claudia, you were about to say something.
Okay.
That's fine.
Let
That's
me
fine.
let me get my charger, please.
Okay, that's fine. So let me go back to me and actually just say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna ask this question to Uncle Carl. Uncle Carl, have you
Okay.
ever been in a situation whereby a woman expects you or tell you you've not actually proved your love enough for that person.
Oh yes.
So
Oh
what did you
yes,
do in
I
that
have.
situation?
Left.
You left. So basically, you left the relationship.
I left. I left. It's one thing. It's one thing to be playful in a relationship, and you sitting down one day and you say some things and you hug and you kiss. How's your day? And she goes, or you go, do you love me? You know
Yeah,
I love you.
yeah,
That's just that. But when you have a situation where, do you love me? Then prove it. Wait a minute. Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recognize what's been happening for the last blah 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 time? Have you
Mm-hmm.
been watching or seeing or even feeling what's been going on for all this time? And you're actually questioning my love? Okay. I mean, I didn't just up and leave. I talked. I asked. It was just something that she was going through, and she had a lot of baggage,
Oh.
hurt, mistrust, you know,
Mm.
distrust in past relations, and she needed to be proven to.
Too much.
That's something I couldn't help with. I couldn't.
You had to
I could not
go.
help that.
Mm-hmm.
I could not help that at all.
I
Yeah.
understand
So
that. It's quite
Wow.
difficult actually to get a relationship whereby someone is expecting you to prove your love for
Constantly
them.
true.
To me, that relationship is not genuine. Because if you expect me to prove my love to you, means the moment you actually first of all expect me to prove my love to you, that means you question our relationship in the first place. You
Yeah.
questioning
Yeah.
Right.
it. You there's no trust.
Something is
That means you
not
don't
is
really
not
believe I really care
natural.
for you or love you. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the way I look at it. So Uncle Pascal, have you ever been in a relationship whereby you get a lady trying to ask you, can you prove, like, you need to prove your love? You need to prove that you really love them.
So many times.
So what do you do in that situation?
But let me explain how the acts. Women generally always, you say a woman, you guys will have a good time today. The next day she will ask you, sweetheart, do you love me? That is, yeah, that is them ask. They are trying to, they
That's
want you
true.
to
Yeah.
prove your love. They do it every time. So sometimes I always ask women that I deal with, I'll be like, why do you want me to say it again? We just had good time yesterday. We did great things. Why are you asking again? You know what they always say? I just want to be sure. I like to hear it all the time. Women like to hear that word. Do you love me? Do you love me? That is one way. That's why I said there are so many ways people prove their love. People want people
Yeah.
to prove their love. It's not just one way. It's million ways. So when a woman asks that for me, sometimes I'll be like, I'm not telling you I love you. I already love you. You know it.
Mm.
Why do you want me to say it again? If I'm in a good mood for peace to reign, I'll be like, sweetheart, I love you. So I've been in that situation so many times.
Okay, we understand
how
that.
would you categorize that, Pascal, when they ask those questions that way? How would you, if you had one word for that, what would you call it?
Validation.
They need validation.
They need
Yes.
validation. That's a good one.
We can be confusing sometimes. I can be
No,
honest.
women, you guys are confused. Now, Mr. Carl, we
Yes,
know
sir.
Princess Calabash. This is her show. If we had known, the question would have gone to the women first before the men comes in. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you something. It would have been a different outcome.
Well, that was why we started with
Exactly,
the men first, because we wanted to hear the
Yeah.
I
men's
know,
point of
of course
view.
I know. I'm like,
You
look,
see?
he got us this
Yeah.
time.
It
You
seems to
know,
start like that on every show, though.
No,
yes, it
not
does.
really, not
Next
every
time it's going to
show.
start from the women's side.
Not every show. We didn't start like that the 2 weeks ago. Two
I
weeks
can
ago we
say,
started with Courtney, remember? We started with Courtney. And
yeah.
and then
Okay.
that was how we started it 2 weeks ago. And but this week I just think because I knew I was bringing the Will Smith opinion, the Will Smith issue out.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear what the male's point of view was from it, because I told you from a woman's perspective, from my point of view, I just think he was defending the woman. That is it. It's as simple
Yeah.
as that. It was a
I can,
defensive. He was trying to defend his wife. It's as simple as that. Because you cannot come in public. I said to people now, public disgrace, public correction. Because you cannot come to me in public and actually disgrace me. And it was something
yeah.
he's been doing for a while. Chris has been doing it for a while. It's not just something he just picked up like yesterday. Go on, Uncle Carl. Let's
Can
listen
I
to your
chime
point
in?
of view.
All right. Now, it appears, it sounds like you're trying to glorify his mistake.
No, no, I'm not. No.
Okay.
That was why I
Because see,
said
this is the thing. To try to
no.
prove that love, let's ride with Uncle Pascal saying he was trying to prove it. Okay. I would call it dysfunctional love at this point.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Because here you are about to get an Oscar that you fought so hard for how many years ago
Yeah.
when they didn't give it to
So many
you?
years ago.
Okay. And now you have been nominated. Okay. Not only that, the white people step back and let the black people narrate this whole thing for the first time. There's a rise, and you selfishly go and try to prove yourself to your wife in that moment on national TV. That's a dysfunction. Okay.
Yes. That's
So
weakness.
I do not condone that by no means. But like I say, in the words of Chris Rock himself, when he had a joke about O.J. Simpson killing, I don't say I condone it, but I understand. I do understand Will defending his woman, but not
Hmm.
on that TV like that. You have a live talk show that your wife has that got
Yeah.
millions of viewers to it. Go on there and talk about it. Use your words, use wisdom and
Hmm.
talk. If you have to use
Absolutely true.
it, am I still here?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I can
Okay,
hear you.
use it way, if you have to, use it way in the back, in private, not up front.
True. That's absolutely true. I agree with that. I agree with everything you've actually said. 100% true. Uncle Carl, can you hear us? I think Uncle Carl, yes, I think
I
Uncle.
had I had a phone call come in, so I'm trying to reconnect my headset here.
Okay,
Can
thank
can you
you.
say something so I can see if I can hear you?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, well, I
Okay.
guess that's off.
Okay.
All right.
So, Uncle Carl, so Uncle Carl can hear us from here. You can hear us, right?
Yes,
Okay, thank you very
yes,
much.
it's
We're coming
low, but I
towards the
can hear
end
you.
of the program now, and we've actually been talking because I actually tried to keep it 1 hour max. I know we've been going for too long and been going with it, like 2 hours, but I'm trying because now we're changing from the Calabash Princess to Calabash Network now. And please don't forget to share the program if you're watching it. And you can leave your comments for us as well. And if you have any advice or anything, please just comment and leave it for us, or you can inbox any of us in here. And at the same time, if you're watching the program recorded, please remember we're off the screen right now when you're leaving the comment in there. And we're coming towards the end of the program now, our 1 hour max, which I'm trying to time us very well. We've discussed few
Hmm.
things and a lot of things, even though it's not enough, but we've touched base on it. And just to give people a taster of what is coming really on this network that is diverse and is multicultural. And at the same time as well, we can talk from anywhere around the world, basically, and just get the women's corner. And the male point of view, just we've had the male point of view today on this Will Smith issue. Auntie Claudia, I'm gonna come directly to you, darling.
Okay.
Because we've listened to the male point of view. How can you analyze this whole situation from your point of view? What the males have actually said, what Uncle Carl and Uncle Pascal have said.
I believe that there is something more going on. I think there is a lot of things happening that we don't know about between both couples, you know. I also think that Will did try to defend his image, you know, as okay, the world is looking at me. And they've been talking about my wife, and all these things have been happening for years now. And I think it kind of messed with his ego. So that's where the emotional part came in, and he responded. That's just my opinion. Jada's part, I do think, and again, it's my opinion that there might be a little resentment about things in there, and that's as deep as I'm gonna go. But that's my opinion.
Okay, that is okay.
Mhm.
So let's actually go to Uncle. I'll actually give my own opinion about it all. I just believe Will is losing so much money right now for just one mistake, one Satan that's actually just entered him that moment. Because to me, it was the work of the devil, basically. Even though they
Yes,
said we as black people, we
he's
always
been
put it
he's
to the
been through
devil.
it.
But at your
Yeah,
highest peak in your career, your
yeah,
highest moment in your career, and you went and just throw it away just for one mistake, because that was a mistake that he will regret for the rest of his life. So to
yes,
me, my own advice for him today, if he, because you never know, Calabash Network will actually go places. So maybe one
yes.
day, if you're listening to this or you're watching this, Uncle Will, which I'm trending on, one day you will, just remember this. Everything comes in a season, and darkness and light we have on planet Earth. So there's always going to be a dark moment and a moment to shine.
Yeah.
So no matter what happen, it's going to pass on. Just
Hmm.
as the way we have winter, we have summer, we have spring. So it doesn't matter what is going on, it's always going to pass on. It's going to go away. It's just a matter of time. We'll never forget about it though. But the sun is always going to shine again. At the moment, it's darkness, but the sun's going to shine. And that's the way I want everyone to take life. Because in this life, we have issues, we have problems. But one day, that problem is going to go away. And you might look back and say, oh, that was a lesson learned. So that is the way we all need to learn to take life. There's always dark and there's always light. There's wet and there's dryness. So things come, you will learn from it, and we move on. So this was a lesson for him to learn from, and I hope he learned very good, very well from it, basically. And as I still stand, I think he was defending his wife, not proving his love. let's go. Let's go to Uncle Carl. He's laughing at the moment, and let's actually listen to what Uncle Carl advice is gonna be and what's his take on it. His final remarks.
Love can make you do some crazy things, but use wisdom even within your craziness. You know, I agree with you. He has lost so much. It's not just money he has lost; his dignity, his
His
pride.
dignity.
You know, so um, it's confusing. I know sometimes with that thin line between proving and defending, but I agree. I think he was defending his wife, and the action that he did made it seem like he had something to prove.
Yeah,
So it can go both ways. But
absolutely.
my advice, you don't have to go to an extreme to prove anything to anyone except for yourself.
Hmm.
Because once you prove to yourself who you are, what you are, and that you are real with self, it eludes out to everyone else, and you don't have to prove anything to anyone because it's just going to flow naturally from yourself. So just prove something to yourself if there's anything to have to be proven. That way, when you do realize, hey, I am this. It'll show to someone else and love will flow naturally.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe in that too. And we've listened to what Uncle Cal have to say, and which I think that was a very good advice as well. So let's listen to what Uncle Pascal have to say before we go. Uncle Pascal, what advice would you give in before
Yeah,
we analyze it all?
Uncle Carl has basically said all what I wanted to say. But let me just quickly cheat this. Right from time, I have never believed in that word that it is the devil's handwork.
Mm.
The devil is sitting on its own. The devil is somewhere else. We should be able to control our emotions. Not just the men, both men and women. We should learn how to control it. Sometimes it's not easy, but we should try. We should always sit down, have a second thought, because in anger you make decisions, you always make mistakes. But when you sit down, like have time to really think about it before you take action, you will do it in a better way. So we should learn how to be patient before we make decisions. Like what Mr. Carl said, you don't need to prove your love to that extent. You have to take care of yourself. Prove yourself. Make sure you are the prize. Then every other thing will flow. That's all I want to say.
Exactly. Yes,
Exactly.
sir.
That was a good advice right there. And I believe it's not only that this advice is good for each and every one of us over here, including
It
myself. And, we all can learn from each other and we learn from each other's experiences and what we have to say. So I want to say thank you all for joining me tonight. And this was a fantastic program, shortly put together. And I hope next week will be even better. And I know it's a new network, but people will start joining as time goes around. So have people joining in and also give us their comments. And as time goes on, we're going to get
Yeah.
the telephone call going. People will be able to call in as it goes in. And at the same time, it's streaming live on YouTube as well. So people can watch it through YouTube at
We
the
can
same
watch it
time.
from there.
So I want to say thank you all for tonight and have a blessed evening. And thank you all and we love you all. Uncle Carl,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes.
Auntie Claudia, thank you. Uncle Pascal, thank you. And this is the Calabash Princess saying thank you, au revoir, merci, and have a blessed evening. Thank you. Thank you all.